Hello everyone, and welcome back to day 20 of the third day build challenge with me, Nacy. I can't believe we're 2/3 of the way in. It's kind of crazy, and I actually feel like I have improved so much as a builder, specifically building things like this. That's kind of crazy to me. I'm still in awe. I am still impressed with my skills, as bad as that may sound. I'm kind of proud, a little bit proud of myself, but it's time to continue working on this build and actually build the cafe part I was meant to do last time. So the image I have of this is that there is, say, like a street corner here that's turning over, and this cafe is kind of sitting on the corner, and yeah, I don't know how else to explain it. It's just gonna start building. One thing I do want to do is kind of bring in a different color here, so I've used a little bit of this dark oak, and I think we should be using a little bit more of it, so I'm definitely going to be adding dark oak to my build. I also want to go with a different roof color for the cafe sort of awning, just to kind of signify that it's made out of fabrics. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do there, but I'm going to start by just actually building the awning. Alright, I have started trying to figure out the shape and a little bit of the detailing for this cafe build, so take a look, guys. Oh man, what's going on? The more I stare at it, the more I dislike it. But let's talk about the things I like first before I get into everything that I don't like about this. So one of the things I like is the curve on this thing is very accurate to what I was imagining, and what I would actually do in a real build, in a real city, is there'd be another sort of townhouse build going up this way, right? So this kind of unused corner plot between the buildings would be turned into a little cafe. So I like the shape of that. The street curve is okay. I think I can work on this path a bit more. I'm not sure how I feel about using the mud bricks at all. Should this whole thing be andesite? Very possibly. So, okay, I'm already going into the list of things that I don't love about this. But the actual curve is kind of good. I like the glass. The use of the glass is something I really wanted to try. We've got a little bit of a gradient here as well. I looked up reference photos, and I noticed a lot of them do have very big windows, or basically walls made out of windows, really, so you can see inside the cafe. So I wanted to give this a go. And okay, I think I'm out of things I like. Don't know about the banners. The banners feel very busy. I do like the way we have this kind of covering hanging down. I looked up a bunch of reference photos, and they tend to be fabric normally, sort of rolly ones. But I thought wood would work better here because we have, trapdoors and stuff we can use. But I think this is too high up. I do think it needs to be moved down, and the trapdoors need to end maybe here instead. Probably this one here, maybe. So we may need to lower it a block. Also make it a little bit less steep, I think. Not sure exactly how this would work for me. Maybe like this instead. And we need to get rid of a layer of glass instead then. Let's see how this looks if we make it a little bit lower down. Okay, yeah, I do think I will prefer that long term. I also feel like there's just too much blackstone here. Maybe this should just be a flat roof? I'm not sure. There is definitely too much blackstone visible, and also the blackstone on this side, all of this, the little walls here, I might need to make these diorite, because we are lacking a little bit of the diorite in this build. Let's see if I do it like this. It's so hard to imagine because I can still see the other half of the build, but this could potentially be an improvement. I do want some of the blackstone. I do really want to tie in these color palettes together as much as I can, but it just felt like I was overusing the blackstone here. Okay, let's try a banner or two on this, because I do think the banners add a little something, but maybe I had too many banners. It's so hard to visualize it as a cafe, honestly. I'm gonna give it a go to lower this whole thing by a block or two and see what I think then, and maybe work a little bit more on the roof shape. This might be an idea, guys. I felt like the brown, while beautiful color, was not really giving cafe vibes. So I decided to add a little bit of that signature stripy look, and you know what? This is really helping with the image, I think. Obviously, because we used pale oak in the other build, not much, but we did use a little bit here and there. This could be the thing I needed. Now the question is does it look a little bit too stereotypical now? I don't know. But that is an improvement, I think. Yeah, I think swapping this out for a pattern has definitely been the right move. It's already feeling a lot more cafe-y. I don't know if it's feeling French cafe specifically now, but this is the best I can do at the moment, guys. And I added another fake wall. Uh, yep, fake wall. Just to give it more of that town feeling. And from this angle, honestly, kind of feels like they're all the same big buildings. So I kind of regret doing that. I probably should have done this in a different color, and I might change it. But from the front, it does at least make the cafe look a little bit cuter. It's nestled into this tiny corner lot, and hopefully that means it would have great business in here. So I'm gonna start putting up some chairs and tables and get rid of this grass on the inside and make it look a little bit more like a warm and cozy cafe. I have tried adding the furniture, and to be honest guys, I always kind of struggle with chairs and tables in Minecraft because I would like them to be on a smaller scale most of the time. And I get bored of stairs, so I tried something new here. We have the bamboo tables. I was going kind of for a foldable table look, at least ones that maybe put away quite easily, like thin and framey kind of tables rather than solid sturdy ones, because when I think of outdoor seating for cafes, they do tend to be kind of flimsy little things. They normally wobble and have some stains and marks on them, and you know, they get beaten up as they get moved around and stuff. And that's kind of the impression I was trying to give here, is these are kind of placed in random spots. There's not really much sense to them, but as people come in and out of the cafe and try to scramble themselves a seat in the sunshine, things just get moved around. And I did struggle to find a seat that would go with these bamboo tables, and I ended up with these tough slabs and these banners, and I think it kind of works. It does definitely give an idea more of like smaller chairs that are, well, the tuff doesn't look very easily movable, but I was going for more waterproof outdoor kind of chairs, like thin metally ones, and somehow tuff was the best thing I could come up with. I don't even know how that happened, but yeah, I think overall it kind of works. The pop of color from the bamboo has kind of grown on me. It brings your eye back down to this furniture, even though it's a whole mess of grey here. And it actually, I know, it actually does kind of help to define the shape of the table a little bit better, so I'm not upset about it at all. I added another back wall here just to have a little bit of a background to this cafe, and I think it looks very cute. And I even have a little interior, tiny interior, but I think it looks very cute in here. It kind of does give cafe vibes, doesn't it, guys? Obviously I don't have the space here or the tools to put in like the coffee machine and everything, but you can sort of just imagine that this wall is where things would be, but we have the exterior there, so I'm gonna leave this wall in place. But yeah, things like that. We have a little door going nowhere where you would think that the cafe staff would be preparing their food and drinks if they can't make it here at the counter space. You know, we have some places maybe where you can read the menu or order here, and the copper bulbs. These are sort of my idea of the what are they called? Edison bulbs that you can see in some quite fancy cafes and bars and restaurants. Once you see the Edison bulbs around, you know you've walked into a fairly posh posh place, kind of upscale. You know, they're trying hard, and they're normally very cozy, sometimes quite pricey. But yeah, this is the vibe I was going for. I do think it works, so I'm happy with that. Is it feeling French cafe? I don't know. I haven't been to France, so I cannot say, but it does feel like a cafe, which is probably the best thing I can do at this point. So please let me know what you guys think of the build. I think it looks wonderfully cozy, and I almost insane enough to hope that I could one day have a base like this with a bunch of little townhouse buildings, like a nice warm city. Maybe one day, maybe for some sort of series, because this is a lot of work. This is so much work, and I have not done any of the back of any of these buildings. This is a whole floating mess, just to be completely transparent. But from this one angle, I feel like I've done a good job. Let's actually add a lantern up on this wall here, because it's a little bit dark here. It doesn't have to make sense. We're just gonna put some lanterns in here. Oh, nice and cozy. I could see myself coming in here to order my very generic oatmeal caramel latte. That's normally my drink of choice when going somewhere new. So anyways guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Happy 20 days. Goodbye.